What's up, folks? This is Brad Reed here, the Gaming Mole, and I am giving a sort of mid-month update of what's going on with the YouTube channel and everything. So, starting off, as you've noticed, I've been doing Okami and Virtual Quest as my playthroughs, and both those games are extremely long. The reason I did those was because those games were actually requested. And I guess some people actually paid attention to what I was trying to say. So, but it honestly isn't gaining the popularity I expected. But at this point, I'm kind of, oh well, because I kind of see that what I'm gonna have to do in order to get a ton of views is to play something that everyone wants to see, which at this point I just can't provide, or I don't really want to provide anyway. Because YouTube is massively saturated by everything there is to offer, and even all the methods I've tried to actually get views via Twitter, via Google+. Still working on the Facebook thing, but I don't think I'll be getting anything from there because I'm not very active when it comes to Facebook or Twitter or any really social networking site. Anyway, as for those two games, in terms of Okami, I had no idea what I was jumping into. I kind of knew it was going to be a Zelda type game, but I didn't know it was going to be, well, in this case, super long. And I look back at it now, and I say, like, okay, well, maybe I should have just recorded only the boss fights of this game. Because now I actually put a whole day into just playing Okami, and ended up with about 6 to 8 hours of content, or even more than that, to actually convert and edit and sort through. And I was like, oh my god, I don't need to play this game that long ever again. Then when I actually got to what I felt was the end boss of the game, the game actually went on and said, like, oh well, you're not done with this game, you still have more to do. It's like, you are far from complete. Like, oh, I thought this was just post-game content. Like, nope. And I actually went and asked around how long the game is, and they pretty much said I'm only about a fourth of the way done with the game. And honestly, at that I was like, oh my god, what game did I just input into my PS2? I really think I should have just recorded the boss fights now. But oh well, I'll just trudge through it. I tried to look for a faster way to convert all my videos, but it just doesn't seem to work, anything I've tried. I've looked up so many different programs of converting and they don't really seem to work. Even for HD. As for the other game, Virtual Quest, I can actually see why a lot of people quit the game, but at the same time, I'm going to keep going through it. My main issue with the game, which probably a lot of other people who play the game have the same issue, is the precise platforming and the controls. The controls are very stiff from what I've experienced, and the platforming, you have to be almost perfect to actually land on a platform or to get to the next area, or else you either take damage or you have to start the platforming process from the start all over again. It's very annoying, and to top it off, the difficulty curve actually shoots up from being very easy to like the hardest thing, to being like the most cheapest thing ever you fought. And I actually just came off from a boss fight that frustrated me so much that after I beat him, I just said, okay, well, this is enough of this game for today. I need to calm down and do something else, because this is really, really frustrating. to play. And honestly, this boss countered everything I did and came back with his own cheap stuff. From attacking me way off camera to like countering everything I tried to do. Like, oh well, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to air attack you. Like, nope, anti-air. Like, okay, well, I'm going to try and grab you. Nope, counter. Like, okay, well, I'm going to try and combo you. Like, nope, you're still too slow. I countered that too. And now here's my ultimate attack, where I turn into 5 clones of myself, and pretty much every single one of them is fake. If you attack the fake one, you get stunned, and I'm going to combo you into oblivion. Like, aha, game over, son. That's the way of the ninja. And honestly, I went at that boss fight for so long that I was frustrated, to where I ended up creating my own strategy that I had no idea was gonna work or not. And it luckily managed to work, and I was just like, oh thank God, I don't have to sit through this boss fight again. So after I beat the boss fight, I went and saved the game and just called it a day there. It was honestly frustrating, and I can see why a lot of people quit the game or didn't finish it. And the guide itself is pretty much crappily written. Anyway, moving on. What I might plan to do in the future is, well, generally for myself to earn more views and whatnot, and to try and earn more money, even though I'm kinda against it and I'm still debating and actually praying about it. There's whole things like hold contests and give away free stuff, because I have a bunch of stuff in my closet and other places where that I just clearly don't use, and it looks like it could be a giveaway thing. Like, I have an old Onimusha 2 t-shirt, an Okami art book, a Mega Man 04 art book, a couple of games I just utterly don't play anymore. I figure, like, well, maybe I could use this to give away and try and earn more views. I mean, I can't afford things like a 3DS or the or a PS or a Vita. And it was like, it felt like maybe I can use this to try and earn more views. And that was like, and that would help me out to earn more money to like throw out more stuff. Like maybe a subscriber contest or an art contest or something, I don't know. Or a donation type contest deal. I also plan to go back to streaming, or maybe holding a donation type stream, because that actually seemed to earn a ton of money, even though I was playing games that really no one wanted to see. It seemed like it seemed probably the most profitable, even though I rather hate taking donations for such a thing. It seems to be one of the better ways to earn money. But I'm still working through I'm still working with myself to try and build up the courage to actually stream and whatnot, and try and make a schedule as to what time to do all this. So it's a very hard process. It's a very hard process for me to sit through. Anyway, probably what I should be talking about that people are apparently interested in is the recent announcements of things that have came out. I know there's the Injustice Batgirl DLC, but honestly, I'm not really interested in the Injustice game for my own reasons that I've listed a long time ago. One of the things I've actually got excited for was Guilty Gear, Zerd. Honestly, that looked seriously awesome to see. The art style as I looked at the trailer looked extremely different than what I was used to from the old Guilty Gears. But I was still excited to see it, and it looked like it was a story that takes place either before or after Accent Core, or maybe even before that, or maybe even before the original Guilty Gear game. It's hard to say, because they kind of established the storyline of Soul and Kai's relationship, and you're kind of wondering, like, where did Kai get this ponytail from? Like, are they that old now? And when you look at Guilty Gear 2 Overture storyline, you wonder, like, okay, well, maybe Kai ended up with the ponytail, and this happens before Overture actually started. Like, and you just and it just leaves me wondering what the heck's with the storyline, and what characters are going to be in it. And as I sat there looking at the trailer saying how awesome this is, two things came to mind. The first thing being, like, okay, like, they should make the Guilty Gear 2 Overture characters either like DLC or unlockable characters to play as, because those characters were pretty fun, especially Izuna and Sin. Even though Sin's outfit makes him look very, I guess you could say, gay, he was still a very awesome, hard character in terms of one-on-one combat. Since his combos were seriously through the roof. And then you have Izuna, who has insane ways to hit you. Like, and he'll always make sure he lands the hit. As well as adding like random. Then you have like my favorite character of Overture, Dr. Paradigm. He's just plain out awesome. Even though he's not really a fighter, he honestly had some of the best moves of the game. That they actually had a ton of patches to nerf him, because he was actually that good in one-on-one combat. Discover what to do. Then of course there's Raven, which is actually Batman's servant. You don't really know the storyline of Guilty Gear. He's one of the Batman's actual minions, really his loyal servant. And he's a pretty awesome character as it is. So I honestly would like to see the Overture characters appear in this game. I also started wondering if there's going to be English voiceovers for the game. One, it's made by Arc System Works. I believe is the proper term. And pretty much what they did with Guilty Gear 2 Overture. They gave you the option to play English or in Japanese. So I honestly wonder if there's going to be an actual voice set, because they always do a good job. Even though there's always like, oh, well, the Japanese are out of the English voice. I honestly like to hear them both. And really, at this point, I would like them to do Street Fighter 4 and 3. You need to option which character voice you want to hear in Japanese and which one you want to hear. That would be seriously an awesome thing to do. Plus, Guilty Gear is kind of one of my kind of games to play in terms of fighting. I would have Samurai Showdown series about there really no fan base for it, except that I can't find. Just like KOF. But Guilty Gear is kind of like my second favorite in terms of fighters. And I really hope to see that. The other thing that this game doesn't embrace, just like Accent Core Plus, whatever it's called. The downloadable game on Xbox 360 and PS3. No one actually downloaded the game. It didn't go as well. It didn't go as well because the game kind of stopped due to net code. But it's still ended up a great game. But when I was about to download it, I saw that it got set out like, no, why? Like I have actually core and actually core. They're both rated T. For the same reason. As this game. I went and thought about it. Like, okay, when ESRB was called the random art was. Because the random art was very questionable. When you unlock the artwork, look at it like, So it's generally one of those. I really hope that this game doesn't. Otherwise, I'll probably be crying in a filter. Of course, like I said, I painted not to buy M-rated games. So I'll sit there, Anyway, there's also they've made the announcement quite a long time ago. Blaze Blue Chrono Phantasma. And this game's actually gotten about two announcements which I've made in my blog. One being the release date on a console version, which the console version will probably be Japan at its current time. But it's been slated for winter of this year. I can't remember the exact date because it's actually on my blog. You'll actually have to check out my blog to go see it. And I'll post it in the description. But they also made the announcement of two new characters being in the game. One being Terumi, and you start thinking like Terumy's already in the game. This is actually Terumi, not Hazamo Terumi. This is Terumi, and he looks freaking insane. The other character whose name escapes me right now, I'm not actually looking at my blog, and I'll post that description as well. But this dude looks pretty awesome as well. He looks like he would be related to Shishigami in a way. Because of his hairstyle and whatnot. And I honestly thought this character looks awesome as well. I just hope he's not hard to use. But anyway, in terms of the new cast of characters, first I want to say bring back, make my favorite cat. Make my favorite cat the playable character. No, not Kokonoe. You know who I'm talking about. The six heroes. Yeah. Make him playable. Because we've been sitting here through so many games, trying to hint that he might be a playable character. His name is escaping me right now, and I need to go look it up. I'm sorry. Names are escaping me right now. You guys know who I'm talking about. Make him play. Jubei. That's his name. That's his name. God, I finally remember. Make Jubei a playable character. Seriously. I mean, you hinted that he might be a playable character in CS, and then you kind of just killed us when CS Extend came out. And then you're kind of killing me now with Chrono Phantasma by not showing him there. Like, oh my god, make Jubei playable. Like, I really just want to bust out Arc System Works doors and just be all like, where's Jubei? Like, I really want Jubei as a playable character. But honestly, in terms of the new cast of characters so far, I actually like the look of Azrael as a character. Because he actually seems to fit the kind of character I would want to play as, which is like have all these powerful hits, so you don't have to really worry about doing long string of combos. And he looks seriously easy to use. You don't have to worry about much of anything at all. I honestly don't care about the tier list. Tier list generally for people that want to make money off of playing a tournament. That's how I look at it. But I really want to play because he's a male character. And in terms of all the BlazBlue games, I have not actually had a male character I could use I haven't played CS purely because it was just the same game as CS. And I just didn't want to go out my way to go buy a new character. So I honestly this guy is going to be the character that says like yes, he's made for me. Before I was happy with Hakumen back in BlazBlue because he had seriously strong hits. But then they ended up nerfing his damage and pretty much making him like Jin. He has to no longer simple. You can't just stand here. You can't just stand around. You can't just stand around and do pokes all day. You get damaged. Like I seriously want a character that actually speaks to me. Because I'm sick and tired of playing as Lambda. I was generally just Lambda. Like I didn't exactly play everyone else. And I don't like Tank. I don't really like grapplers in the first place. Unless you don't center around landing grapples. So that's another story for another time. Anyway, that's Phantasma for you. From what I saw, it doesn't look like the Xbox 360 will get a release for it. So I'm definitely going to have go out my way for PS3. I kind of plan on getting one of these ways, but generally for import titles. Go figure. Now moving on to the next thing. There's been talk just happened today as a result of the Xbox One, I believe it's called. And now it's pretty much PlayStation 4 versus Xbox One. And Wii U is kind of just sitting in the back. Honestly, from what I've been hearing about the Xbox I'm not happy about it. They announced saying that you can't buy. They generally kind of that you can't buy for the Xbox One. And that's kind of a sad fact there. And that's kind of a sad thing. Because at this point, I generally off of buying games. Because buying games is the best way to go for any type of game. Paying $60 to $70 for a new game, especially when a lot of games, in my opinion, are rather crap they were in the old days. They don't seem to put a lot of effort in the game to put things on pretty, games look pretty. And I've really just missed the days where I paid $40 to $50 for a new game. So it's really a disappointing fact that if this is really the truth,
what's going to happen with used games?
I'm going to be rather sad. It's like at the same time, I just said by the time I get PlayStation 4 anyway, I'll probably own a PlayStation 3 or the Wii U. And with the PlayStation 4 being released, and had the same type of rumors going about, all those rumors were dispelled about the whole used games bit. I honestly don't see anything appealing about either system. When it comes to the system, I'm not looking at how fancy the console is. I'm looking at what games are coming out, and a lot of games just appeal to me right now. From what they've shown. And that's generally where I am on the Wii U. The Wii U has a ton of games that I might be interested in, but at the same time, I looked at it like, well, that's only a couple of games. I'm not buying it just for used games. Probably in 2 weeks or so. I'm getting bored of. I'm looking at like I want to look at the overall aspect of what games are coming out. Like what games are announced, what games are coming out, and what the outlook actually looks like. Because with the Wii, when I got a Wii, the gaming outlook looked nice, but in the long run it just turned out, and there was only a few games that actually were. They actually said like this is a Wii, is a reason why you should buy a Wii. Which is generally the reason why I don't have a PS3 right now as well. So in terms of me actually looking forward to PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One, if that is the right name for it, I don't really see myself wanting to get one at all anytime soon. Maybe if the price drops, with these whole rumors that need to really seriously be clarified, I'm not happy about it either. I think that about wraps it up for me. The only thing I'm actually looking forward to plan to do is one of the games I actually did plan to do commentary, and I'm trying to set it up, but it's seriously hard to do so. So the game in question, put it in my blog, so to speak. I'll actually write it in my blog. Maybe somebody might know what I'm actually doing commentary for. Because I've actually already played this game in the past, and I just brought a newer version of it. So I'm going to play that one over again in a way. And try and do commentary over it, because I honestly don't like playing the same game over and over again. Especially if it's just plain out remake. Anyway, all that's said and done. Like, let me know what you think in the comments. Give me some responses or suggestions as to what you want to see in the coming month. And what you think about everything I've just said. It's like, this is Brad Reed, the Gaming Mole, signing off.